This is Steve Aoki. He runs a record label called Dim Mak. He's huge in America. He's responsible for signing bands like Bloc Party, the Klaxons, making them big in America. He's recently started producing as well under the guise of Weird Science and under his own stuff, Steve Aoki. Think of a cool band in the UK. Steve probably signed them or responsible for breaking them in America. If you're a band, you need to come and see Steve in America if you want to break it. Take That didn't go and see Steve, so it just failed. So
for some odd reason, I always am signing British bands. Dorley, he pretty much runs the DJs out here in Ibiza Rocks. He's the go-to guy for pretty much everything that they do. So every time I have a question or any problems, I hit him up, and then he solves the problems and he sorts them out. He's a good MC. He's always hyping the crowd. He's kind of an ambassador of that sound out here too. He's been playing a lot of electro. In Ibiza, it's the status quo. The mainstream sound is not electro. It's minimal, more techno. You know, it's different. It's a completely different culture in Ibiza. The sound, like electro, is like a sovereign state. Like it's separate from house music. So playing electro, I also do residency at Space. So playing electro in Space, it's like playing something brand new to these people that never heard anything like that before. And what he's doing out here at Ibiza Rocks is introducing that sound to all these rock kids. And these rock kids are actually more familiar with this sound than the house kids that go to Space and Pasha and everywhere else.
Last year Steve got like the set of the season in Ibiza because he did that kind of, you're like a pioneer in Ibiza, you're probably the first person to do it properly. Set of the season in Ibiza, and then this year it's kind of coming through more, there's more electro, less indie. Next year it's going to be probably a lot more kind of, it'll be a lot harder than it was this year, and you know, the indie kids are kind of crossing over into this sound a lot more over here, so it's great for us. I came out here in June as a resident just for June. It just kind of went really well. I think the whole thing about using the microphone and I run my own club nights and stuff, so I think having a problem solver to deal with DJs, because Ibiza Rocks is a band thing essentially, so they're great at looking after bands and stuff, but the DJs always kind of get left out, and nobody really knows how to plug in a CDJ or anything like that. So if they've got someone that can solve all those problems and look after the DJs and knows about the DJs, like for a start, and it's kind of, I think that's kind of where I've kind of found my little place in the Ibiza Rocks team now.
Ibiza this year has become like my Los Angeles in America. I just use this as my home turf, and then I tour outwards through Europe and come back, because I know I always play here, and I always play Space on Thursdays, and then I do Manumission, you know, whenever I think monthly. So yeah, it's nice to be out here. It's the you know, beautiful ocean. There's boats. There's snorkeling. There's Dorley. There's like so much good stuff here. Besides even the parties, you know.
It's pretty easy nowadays because the industry standard, thank God, because it used to be Alan and Heath and just like
Alan Heath, no thank you.
Even the Pioneer DJM 600. I mean, some of it was rusty, and now the DJM 800 has just made life so easy because everywhere you go, you've got a DJM 800 and you've got three CDJs. That's what you need. I mean. Steve uses Serato as well, so we have decks for him as well, but we're just talking about it tonight because a lot of the clubs he turns up to, you know, decks are quite temperamental, and if they don't work, it's kind of, so he's brought CDs, and he's starting to use CDJs in his set now because it kind of, CDJs never fail on you, so luckily the industry standard now is just like perfect, and a lot of DJs, everyone can turn up to a club. The amount of, I mean, running a club night, the amount of every rider I get, I don't even need to look at the tech spec. It's always the same thing, unless it's like the scratch perverts. Then you need like 20 decks and six mixers and stuff. Other than that, everyone wants a DJM 800 and 3.
Yeah, DJM 800 is the only mixer I use. I have 2 singles dropping this year. I have Weird Science is one of my production monikers. We have a single called House of Cards coming out next month, and then I have another single called Dead Meat also dropping right after that one under my own name. And I just finished a remix for Good Charlotte. I did a remix for Duran Duran, Robin Thicke, Lenny Kravitz, Spa. These are all like stuff that's happening this year. And then me and Boys Noise in the Faint, we started a band called Wet Floor, and I'm singing in that band, and we're dropping that single early next year. So there's a lot of stuff coming out.
I'm just going to try and catch up with Steve with the productions, because I don't know how he hasn't got a day off touring, but on the plane he seems to be churning out these tunes quicker than the Swedish House Mafia, and they're all really good as well. I don't know how he's doing it, but I'm going to try and I finish next week. I'm going to go home, spend a month in the studio, well, probably 2 weeks in the studio. I'm touring Singapore, Malaysia, Canada and Egypt. I'm doing like, they're the kind of place I'm playing in the next kind of period of time. And then I'm just going to concentrate on my club night and try and get that back. You know, I've left it for 3 months, so I need to go and just get stuck in again. So we've got some really good acts lined up and stuff, so we're going to get cracking with that, I think.